From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. The BC government is expected to release a report today on ways to improve safety and security at events. The report comes 2 months after 11 people were killed and dozens were injured in a vehicle ramming attack at a Vancouver street festival. Premier David Eby asked retired BC Supreme Court Chief Justice Christopher Hinkson to conduct the Commission of Inquiry. Canada's Transportation Safety Board is probing the cause of yesterday's deadly mid-air collision between two single-engine planes in southeastern Manitoba.
Authorities say the two pilots, both students, were killed while practicing takeoffs and landings. The president of Harv's Air, Adam Penner, says it appears the crash occurred as both pilots were attempting to land simultaneously at the small rural runway south of the community of Steinbach.
There was some sort of communication issue, or they weren't seeing each other.
Federal Transport Minister Chrystia Freeland took to social media to express her condolences, noting that she'll follow closely the Safety Board's investigation. Rob Westgate, The Canadian Press.
A new report expects Ottawa will miss its 2026 deadline to implement $10 a day childcare services across the country. But a report out today by the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives says just 6 provinces and territories are currently meeting that $10 a day fee target. They are Nunavut, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Quebec, PEI, and Newfoundland and Labrador. The rest don't yet have plans to hit that target, though the report does note big progress by Ontario, Alberta, and others in getting fees down. The Department of National Defence says it's taking very seriously the allegations against 2 active Canadian Armed Forces members who are accused of being part of a terror plot to forcibly seize land in Quebec. 24-year-old Marc Aurel Chabot and 33-year-old Matthew Forbes of CFB Valcartier were arrested yesterday, along with a former member of the Armed Forces and a former civilian instructor with the Royal Canadian Air Cadets. Perys Chocolates says the Buy Canadian movement has generated so much demand for its products that it decided to sell them outside its own stores for the first time in its 118-year history. The Vancouver-based confectionery company's VP of Marketing and Sales says as soon as tariff tensions emerged this year, traffic to the Perys website jumped more than 200%. Kristen Dean said by Easter, that spiking interest had translated into a 25% increase in new customers.
We saw a similar sentiment in COVID. I feel like whenever Canadians are challenged, they look for those brands that they have deep, meaningful relationships with, and we're lucky and fortunate to be one of those brands.
The extra interest gave Perys the confidence to forge a deal with Pattison Food Group to put some of its chocolates on the shelves of Western Canadian grocer Save On Foods. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the visiting Toronto Blue Jays will be aiming to sweep their 3-game series with the Chicago White Sox this afternoon and extend their win streak to a franchise record-tying 11 games. The Jays won their 10th in a row last night, 6-1, in a game that was called after 6 innings because of heavy rain in Chicago. The Blue Jays also set a franchise record for wins before the MLB All-Star break with their 54th in 92 games. Soccer's Vancouver FC punched its ticket to the Final Four of the Canadian Championship after beating host Cavalry FC 5-4 last night in a penalty shootout. Ottawa Atletico scored a 4-3 win over York United. The final 2 quarterfinal winners will be determined tonight. Forge FC of Hamilton takes its 1-0 aggregate score lead to face Major League Soccer side CF Montreal, and the MLS Vancouver Whitecaps will entertain Valor FC of Winnipeg. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.